And so a man does not have any right to dress up in public life as a woman.
What? You did that though. You did that very thing. What? J'accuse. J'accuse, good sir. Aha. Wait, was that not the only time? It wasn't. Good sir. J'accuse again. It's a preferred sketch. What? What? So, lies, deceit. Michael Knowles, you may know, is the asshole who said that we need to eliminate transgenderism from society. Now, he said that fully knowing what he was implying, which is that he wants to eliminate trans people from society. He's saying it and advocating for it out loud. And then, of course, like they're all craven cowards, wants to back off and then do the whole, that's not what I said, tee-hee, as if being trans is a choice. I don't know what being trans is like. I'm not trans. I do know what being cis is like. I cannot stop being cis. I can't turn that off. So if you were suddenly forcibly transing me, like if you were like, hey, by the way, Lance, you have to forcibly transition against your will, I would experience severe body dysmorphia, and I would be deeply, deeply unhappy and upset on a daily basis to have to look at the changes that were happening to me that I did not want to happen. I know people are probably going to make a whole bunch of jokes and are like, oh, but we want forced feminized, Lance. Fine. Yeah, you enjoy that on your own time, because for me, it would not be great. And I'm just saying that as a cis person, I don't want to be forcibly trans. And yet, why are cis people forcibly transitioning and keeping trans people as the gender that they do not associate with by denying them healthcare? That's what we're doing. We're doing the exact same thing in reverse. We're like, hey, you don't get to have health care. We have solutions to your problems that will have amazing outcomes. Incredible. I mean, this is so well documented and studied at this point, but we're not going to let you do it. No, because we don't understand, you see? We don't truly understand what we see before us. So now Michael apparently wants to ban the pride flag.
I spoke too soon. Yesterday I mentioned that Pride Month was coming to an end. But I said that before Assistant Health Secretary Richard Levine weighed in on the matter.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say dysmorphia. If I said dysmorphia, I was wrong.
And here is what Dick Levine had to say.
Hello,
Dick
my name is
Levine.
Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have
Oh, you were fucking misgendering, Michael. I can't even keep up with you.
the honor of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride. Happy summer of pride.
Oh, so much to get angry about. No. Rainbows forever. Look at this. More rainbows.
Now I have a counter-proposal. My counter-proposal is that we ban that evil pride flag from every public space forever.
Does that mean we have to ban your music video and your movies then? Because you're in a pro-gay music video where you play a gay guy in like a classroom, and then you hold a guy's hand at the very end of it because you're so proud of who you are and you don't want to hide it anymore. In the music video, it's a character. I know. I mean, I don't know how method you went with it, but that's one of a few times that you've actually performed as a gay character. You've also done drag performances as well. But do we have to ban all of those? We have to get rid of all of it? So all of that needs to just be erased from the internet forever?
We could do it. We ban all sorts of flags from public spaces, Nazi flags, hammer and sickle flags.
Do you, America? Because I see a lot of Nazi flags. See, I know in a lot of other countries, like say Germany, you're not allowed to just have Nazi memorabilia and then flash it around and then walk in public with it. But in America, I don't know, things always seem to fall on that pesky First Amendment, you know? It's kind of like, but we need the absolute and supreme freedom, so we need the freedom to have all the Nazis so we can counter the Nazis with anti-Nazi shit. Oh, you mean anti-fascism? No, that's Antifa. Fuck that shit, those are Nazis.
Would not be that hard at all. And you might say that's extreme. But is it more extreme than turning Pride Day in?
Yes, banning refracted light as a symbol is extreme and silly. Are you going to ban the rainbows too? Should they appear naturally in nature as a natural occurrence? Did you know they can even appear in your washroom? All you really need is a fucking prism. Yes, what's going on here? It would be absurd. It would be very, very silly.
Into Pride Week in...
Yes, let's extinguish the sun. Time to blot out the sun, Springfield.
Pride Month, into Pride Summer, into Left On...
My University of Montana State University has forbidden professions from displaying pride flags because the president of the university says they're as extreme as Nazi flags. Normal stuff. So Nazis, we are an extermination project that wants to usher in the superiority of the Aryan Ubermensch race, and pride being we want to exist, please. They're the same picture.
Checked, I promise you, pride always. We're living in polarizing times, and you can't simultaneously exalt opposites. So which is it going to be?
I choose gay. Team gay. I'm going with the gays. Gays seem awesome, fun, and they're pretty well adjusted, whereas this, you seem confused and angry. I don't know if it was because you consistently played a gay person in a bunch of previous media, and now you're kind of like looking back on that like, oh god, I shouldn't have done all that if I was going to grift in this direction. But, you know, I choose the gays. Over the fascists? Oh yeah, every time, no question. Yeah, way better music, dance scene, culture. No real big extermination projects on the gay side. They're pretty much just like, I mean, there's a little gatekeeping here and there. Who can I be to deny that there has been some, but really no elimination project. You know, not really any really deeply seated racist, we have to exterminate the Jews kind of stuff. So that's also good. Those are positives in my book. Good check marks. You know, I'm a fan of all these groups, so I don't want to see them gone. So yeah, choosing gay. Going with gay.
Do we follow good old Uncle Sam and salute the red, white, and blue? Or will we follow Assistant Secretary Dick and worship the rainbow standard? What kind of summer?
Has anyone asked for that? Has anyone been like, we need to remove the American flag and replace it with the rainbow? This is the future. The gays want it. The conservative movement is so triggered by rainbows, they want to overturn the First Amendment. First Amendment? Michael Knowles says trans people don't have a right to a job. Sounds like Nazi shit. Go on.
Transgender people have the right to work. Transgender people have the right to a job.
Yes. That end sentence. Yes. Yeah. I know that Jordan Peterson got really mad about this when we were starting to codify protectionism against gender and gender expression in Canada as, you know, categories that you cannot do prejudice actions towards, such as discrimination in the workplace, discrimination in housing, or genocide. And that's basically what Jordan Peterson based his entire career off, is lying about that bill. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing because if you don't have strongly encoded protections, especially for marginalized groups, yes, people will discriminate against them. People will offer them inadequate housing or no housing at all based on solely the fact that they're trans. They don't even need to say it out loud. They can just simply be like, unfortunately, we're not available at this moment. Or job offers can simply fire people and then, hey, by the way, why did you fire them? Oh, because they were going to trans the rest of my staff. I can't have that, you know. Once you have one trans person, soon everyone is trans. It's only a matter of time, really. It's an indoctrination, you see. It's good to have protections against that form of bigotry. And I say this not only to the right, I also say this to the clown shoes left. If it's no class but class war, right? Yes, true, we do need to end this whole capitalism thing. It's not great. But also people face different vectors of oppression, especially in terms of workplace discrimination. If you start reading, Kimberly Crenshaw or other authors about how discrimination works and how, yes, even if we did get rid of sexism in the office, that doesn't mean we got rid of racism in the office, and that the experience of a black woman is still going to be different than the experience of a white woman in the workplace.
No, they don't. And they
Yes, absolutely. This is 100% fascism. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's just outright saying that trans people don't have a right to employment. So then what? Then what, Michael? Did they have any rights? Do they have a right to housing? Do they have a right to welfare? Do they have a right to healthcare? Because according to Michael, the answer to all of that is no. None whatsoever. No. They shouldn't be in any way, shape, or form given humanity.
They don't, because there's no such category as transgender people. There are just people. There are people, and people are defined in a certain way, and people are defined by things outside of their own self-perception.
So what are we saying here, Michael? There's no gay people, no black people, no indigenous people, just all people. I mean, that sounds lovely because in theory, scientifically, you're actually accurate. I mean, we are all the same. We're all the same animal. We're all Homo sapiens. That part is very, very true. But see, society-wise, we do differentiate based on a whole bunch of fun things we made up. You know, how much melanin you got, some arbitrary categories, put you into these different boxes and treat you differently. You know, are you cis or are you trans? Are you heterosexual or homosexual? Are you a lesbian? Are you bisexual, pansexual? Well, hey, we don't even understand what that means.
And their own disordered desires. There is no such thing as a transgender person. There are just people, and some people are confused, and some people have fallen into fantasies.
So 100% the same thing as basically the persecution of the gays. Oh, there's no such thing as gay men. No, they've just given in to Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what they're doing. This is a temptation by Satan himself, you see. And Satan's cock is quite impressive. So once they get a taste for it, oh, they cannot stop those gays. But don't worry, they're temporary gays. We can convert them back to the light of the Lord. And then lights... Sorry, I was about to go down this whole thing about the light of God shining forth from his crotch. I'm not going to be offensive. It's too early. The segment just started.
And some people are pursuing disordered sexual desires and fetishes, but that doesn't change who and what they really are. And so a man does not have any right to dress up in public life as a woman.
What? You did that, though. You did that very thing. What? Michael Knowles, Elizabeth Warren. You did this exact thing, Michael. J'accuse, good sir. Aha! Wait, was that not the only time? It wasn't! Good sir! J'accuse again! It's a preferred sketch! What? So, lies, deceit.
And a man does not have a right to dress up like a woman to go do whatever job he wants. The Supreme Court...
Honestly, why? I don't get it. Okay, maybe if it's like you're involved in the service industry where everyone wears like the same outfit or something, fine. But like if it's just like in an office space, why do you give a fuck? Who cares? Is it like, is your productivity good? Yep. That you deliver all deliverables? Yep. On date? Yep. And they're of high quality? Yep. I don't give a fuck what you look like then. Genuinely, I would not care. Yeah, even if I was the boss man Lance, it's like, hey, is everything here as it's supposed to be? Cool. All right. Well, that's it. Nice dress. Enjoy yourself. Looks comfortable. More comfortable than what I'm wearing right now.
Unfortunately, has ruled that a man does have that right. And you saw this specifically in the Harris Funeral Homes case just a few years ago. And you've seen this in the Bostock decision, which says that...
How does this worldview deal with intersex people? Well, for intersex people, what we've been doing for decades now is that parents have been deciding what operation they're going to perform on their children's genitals. I know, you would think that this is a topic that they seem very, very, very concerned about. It's what they bring up all the time. But they're more concerned about ghost genitals, as in there isn't actual operations that are being done in the form of gender-affirming care on little kids. That's not a thing. So they pretend it's a thing and act like that's a real thing. But a real thing that is actually happening is, yes, people who are intersex or differences of sexual development, yes, their parents are the ones who usually decide, well, we want them to be blank. We want them to be a girl. We want them to be a boy. Okay, well then I will perform a surgery on them at a young age and then they will develop in this way. Ideally, you know, their hormone balance is going to be correct enough that they are going to develop fully into the gender that you want them to be. And that's just what parents decide to do. That isn't even really slowing down. Same thing with circumcision. Like circumcision is being given to a large amount of boys in the United States. I think it's over half of all young boys born in the United States are circumcised. I'm not even here to go after the circumcision people. I'm just here to point out Michael Knowles' hypocrisy. Because again, for people who are constantly concerned about child operations, well, there is operations that are being done on young kids. These are them. If these are your concerns, bring it and leave trans people out of it. This has nothing to do with gender-affirming care. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
Thank you kindly to our Lord and Saviors Peyton L. Just and Xander Corvus. Without you, we are nothing. And now, a shout out to our Knights of the Square Table. Amazing Flesh, Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, DM Rivera, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hegbard Celine, Izzy Solidarity, La Media Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Nettle, Omni, Peanut Butter Blonde, Political Papi, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Kubi, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demmel, Thomas, Trevbot EXE, Lucidry, Words Greenwood, Cheryl Alvarez, Tony Perkins, Thomas, O'Pecker, Travis McClinton, and Victoria Bell. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to all the other people who make this entire show possible. Without you, it would not exist. If you can support us, please go to patreon.com/theserfs, and even $1 can help unlock all of the little goodies and help make this show entirely possible.